The F-35B is a stealth fighter that merges the speed and agility of the F-16, the vertical lift ability of the AV-8B Harrier, and the stealth shaping of the B-2 Spirit, while inheriting tech from the F-22 and F-117. It can evade advanced radar, share real-time data, strike with precision, and land vertically, all in one airframe with computing power that lets squadrons operate as a single brain. Stealth, not invisibility, but time. A common misconception about stealth aircraft is that they're invisible to radar. In reality, stealth buys time. The goal is to delay detection for as long as possible, ideally long enough to complete a mission before the enemy realizes what's happening. For bombers, this means shrinking the detection range of ground-based radar arrays, opening temporary gaps in coverage. For fighters, stealth means spotting and targeting the enemy before they can lock on. Radar detects aircraft when its transmitted radio waves bounce back in a way that stands out from background noise. The stronger and cleaner that return signal, the easier the target is to identify. Designers reduce this radar cross-section by shaping the jet to scatter or redirect radar energy away from the transmitter, and by using materials that absorb rather than reflect those waves. The geometry of disappearing. One of radar's biggest helpers is the dreaded corner reflector. Two flat surfaces meeting at right angles, like a building's corner. This arrangement bounces radar waves right back where they came from. Unfortunately for aircraft designers, traditional tail structures with both vertical and horizontal stabilizers create perfect corner reflectors. One solution is to eliminate tail surfaces entirely, as the B-2 does, but that sacrifices agility. Another is to combine the vertical and horizontal stabilizers into V-shaped fins, a V-tail, which can act as both rudder and elevator by moving in sync or in opposition. While efficient for some aircraft, fighters need maximum control authority, so the F-35 keeps separate tail surfaces but angles and offsets them to break up potential radar-friendly geometry. The Air Intake Balancing Act. Engine air intakes pose another design headache. Mounting them under the fuselage, as on the F-16, maximizes airflow but creates a bright radar return. Mounting them on top, as on the F-117 and B-2, hides them from ground radar but starves the engine during extreme maneuvers. The F-35B's answer is a pair of side-mounted intakes featuring a clever aerodynamic trick, the diverterless supersonic inlet. This raised bump ahead of the intake pushes the slow-moving boundary layer air away, letting only clean, high-energy airflow enter the engine, while also scattering incoming radar energy. The DSI cuts weight, reduces drag, and eliminates the maintenance demands of older designs with moving parts. Serrations, tapes, and radar-eating skin. Every visible edge on a stealth aircraft is a potential radar reflector. Designers shorten these edges or break them into jagged serrations to scatter radar waves in many directions. On the F-35, serrations are everywhere, from landing gear doors to weapons bay panels. Even the smallest maintenance hatch gets the treatment. Edges also get a special coating, radar scattering tape with a conductivity gradient. This gradually disrupts radar energy traveling along the aircraft's surface, spreading it out before it can bounce back strongly. Beneath the paint, the F-35's skin incorporates radar-absorbing composite material infused with carbon nanotubes. These absorb a massive range of radar frequencies, including those used by some of the most advanced Russian surface-to-air missile systems. A nose that fights back. Conventional fighter radomes, nose cones, are smooth and circular for aerodynamic efficiency, but that shape can trap and waveguide certain radar frequencies. The F-35's nose is subtly ridged, breaking up these traveling waves before they can betray the aircraft's position. The secret behind vertical landings. The F-35B's most jaw-dropping party trick is its ability to take off from short decks and land vertically. This is made possible by two main systems, the rear three-bearing swivel nozzle and a massive vertically mounted lift fan behind the cockpit. When vertical lift is engaged, a clutch diverts nearly 29,000 horsepower from the main engine to spin the lift fan's two counter-rotating titanium blisks, with even the first stage blades hollowed out to save weight. The three-bearing swivel nozzle rotates the rear engine exhaust downward, while small roll posts in the wings use diverted engine air to maintain stability. The lift fan's outlet vanes can also angle slightly forward or back for fine control. Earlier prototypes had twin side-hinged fan doors, doors, but production F-35Bs use a single rear hinge panel to improve airflow during vertical lift and short takeoffs. The result is a smooth, controlled hover, a huge improvement over the famously twitchy Harrier. The power plant. The F-35's Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine produces a staggering 191 kilonewtons of thrust, more than either of the F-22 Raptor's twin engines. A larger fan and higher bypass ratio make it more fuel efficient in cruise and give it the mass airflow needed for vertical operations. The trade-off? Lower exhaust velocity and a top speed of only Mach 1.6 compared to Mach 2.2 for the F-22. The F-35 isn't built for sprinting. It's built for persistence, stealth, and multi-role versatility. In the B model, the lift fan adds weight, about 1.2 tons, and takes up space otherwise used for fuel, slightly reducing range. But without it, the jet couldn't operate from smaller ships or remote forward bases. Brains, not just brawn. The F-35's true killer feature may not be its flight mechanics, but its information sharing ability. At the heart of this is its active electronically scanned array radar, a flat panel of 1,600 individual transmit and receive modules, each steerable electronically. This lets the jet track multiple targets at once, perform high-speed data transfers, and even communicate securely without broadcasting a telltale radar sweep. Because active electronically scanned array has no moving parts, it can point in multiple directions without the mechanical noise or lag of older systems. It can also serve as a high bandwidth data link. The F-35's multifunction advanced data link allows near instant sharing of sensor data among other F-35s and allied systems, securely and without blowing its cover to enemy receivers. Seeing through the airframe. Every scrap of that shared data is fed into the pilot's helmet, a technological marvel in its own right. Unlike older jets with fixed heads-up displays on the dashboard, the F-35's helmet projects all essential flight and targeting information directly onto the pilot's visor. Sensors around the airframe can even stitch together a real-time see-through image, letting the pilot look straight through the aircraft to spot threats or targets in any direction, day or night. These sensors are housed behind windows made of sapphire, chosen for its toughness and ability to pass a wide range of wavelengths from ultraviolet to infrared. More than the sum of its parts. More than anything, the F-35B's brilliance comes from how seamlessly it fuses multiple technologies into a single, highly capable platform. While none of its core features, stealth shaping, active electronically scanned array radar, or vertical lift, are completely new on their own, the real innovation lies in perfecting each element and balancing their trade-offs so that they work together without compromise. The result is a fighter that can launch from small amphibious assault ships, push into supersonic speeds, slip past advanced radar systems, instantly share targeting data with allied forces, engage both air and ground threats with pinpoint accuracy, and land vertically back on deck. It redefines what a modern fighter jet can be. Not necessarily the fastest or most agile in a close-range dogfight, but without question one of the most connected, versatile, and dangerous aircraft ever built for its mission. And that wraps up our deep dive into the incredible F-35B, the fighter jet that's rewriting the rules of air combat. If you enjoyed learning about its game-changing technology, stealth secrets, and jaw-dropping vertical landings, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next breakdown of aviation's most fascinating machines. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.